Hello viewers, this is Christabel Dina from Trinity Software. In this video we are going to see a step-by-step tutorial to develop a GUI using Python tkinter. Let me give a small introduction about tkinter. It's actually a Python interface to the GUI toolkit. It is actually the GUI library for Python, standard GUI library. When you install Python itself, this tkinter is also installed, so you need not explicitly install tkinter. Okay, and here this is the first step. We are going to design a basic GUI application. Okay, these are the 10 steps which I have given here in the right side. We will see every step in detail. The first step is to import tkinter module. Import tkinter module is, you can do that using from tkinter import asstitch. It means it will import all the classes from the tkinter module. That's the first step. In any GUI creation, you have to do this step first. And the second step is you have to create the GUI application main window. So this application main window is created by calling the constructor of tk, and the main window name here is, you can have any variable name, m is equal to tk. Okay, now the main window is created, and it's an option to have a title for this main window. Otherwise by default it will be tk. In this case the option will be simple calculator. So this is the final result of this coding. So here if you see, you can see the title m.title calculator. Here I have given simple calculator. So if you run, this will be simple calculator. Okay, then the third step is make the application ready to run. So before writing all this coding part, the next step, writing this line, that is m.main loop. So this m.main loop, what is the purpose of this one is, it will run infinitely till you explicitly close that window. M.main loop will run infinitely, and it will wait for any event to occur. Either you press a button or you enter some value into the entry widget, whatever it may be. So it will be waiting for an event to occur, and then it will process that event. Otherwise it will be running infinitely. That is m.main loop. Only if we give this m.main loop, this application window will open. Okay, so that's about the first three steps. Now we are supposed to add the widgets. So widgets are nothing but some shapes. Like in GUI, obviously you need shapes. The basic things in GUI is you need label, then this text entry, and then buttons. These are all some basic things. We are going to cover only the basic widgets here. So in this case, all these things are placed. This label widget and this text box is called as entry widget in tkinter, and then the button widgets. All these things are placed inside a canvas widget. Canvas widget can be called as a container. So that's the fourth step. The canvas widget, it is used to draw shapes. You can place any line or square or whatever you want, you can draw it inside the canvas widget. So now we are going to add the canvas widget to the main application window. So that is the next step. So I am not considering this defining functions now, because this is the order. You can define the functions later. First thing is, you can perform the addition of all the widgets, add canvas widgets. So to add canvas, you have this command. You have to call this canvas variable c equal to canvas, and the first argument is m, that is the main window which you have created, m, and then width and height can be specified. So this width is 350 and height is 400. You can calculate, and bg is the background color of the canvas window. That is optional. Either you can fix the background color or you can leave it empty. So this is how the canvas widget is created. Next thing is, you have to organize the widget. Just simply by adding the canvas widget, it is not placed inside that main window. You are supposed to call the method c.pack. The pack method will organize the widget, that is will place the widget exactly in the position inside the main application window. So c.pack method is called, and then you will get the canvas added to the main application window. Next step is to add all the labels for heading and then the enter value 1, value 2 and result. So totally 4 labels. We are going to add all the labels. I am creating 4 labels from L1 to L4, and the syntax is label of as usual M, the main application window, main window. Then the next thing, mandatory thing for a label is you have to specify the text. So the text is specified as here in the for the first one, simple calculator, and all these things are optional. Font, you can change the font type, font size, and you can either specify it as bold or italic. All these things can be placed within font, and background color also can be changed. You can keep any color as you wish. So this is how a label is created. After the label is created, now it must be placed inside the canvas. So the command to place this label inside the canvas is c.create window. This c.create window actually will place the label inside the canvas. So the coordinates are mentioned here. X-axis 160. So in this case it is like the width, or x-axis it will be 160, and the y-axis will be 40, and window is equal to, we have to mention what must be placed, which widget must be placed inside this canvas. So now we have created the widget L1, that is label L1. So that label should be placed inside this canvas in this position. 160, x and y is 160, 40, and label L1 is placed inside the canvas. This is how we have created L1, the label 1. Similarly, we can create for label enter value 1, enter value 2 and result. Okay, in the same way, M, text value we have entered, and font is optional again. BG is equal to, I am having a different color, background color, a different color for input, enter value 1 and enter value 2, and then also I am mentioning the width so that it looks identical, the shape is looking neat. So for that purpose I am giving width is equal to 14. Okay, then I can, as usual, I can mention c.create window. Now the x and y coordinate, here the x value is 100 and y value is also 100, and I have created the label enter value 1. Okay, in this case it will be enter number 1. If you run and see, so this is enter number 1 we have created with width 14, and enter number 2 and result. Okay, then we have created L2 now. Similarly, you can create L3 also. L3 is for enter value 2, and result also you can create result. Just we are going to change the text value alone. Other things are going to be the same. So in this way we have created all the labels. Now after creating all the labels, that is the 6th step. The 7th step is to add entry widgets. Totally we have only 3 entry widgets. Entry widgets are to give single line input. So 3 entry widgets can be created now. It takes only 2 parameters. The second parameter is optional again. So here entry of M, the main window, and BD. BD represents the border size. Border size equal to 4. So when you see here, I am mentioning the border size is equal to 4. You may feel the difference when I give border size is equal to 2. Now you can feel the difference. Border size for the other two, for entry 2 and for entry 3, the border size is 4, and for 1 it is border size is 2. So it's up to you to fix the border size. You can have any border size. Then as usual you can create call this create underscore window method, place it exactly in the same line as label 1. Only then it will be looking neat. So x coordinate alone you are going to change 260. Y coordinate is same as that of L2. So it's 100. Here also we are using 100, and window is equal to E1. Similarly, you are creating for E2 and E3. That's it. We have created entry widgets. The next step is to add button widgets. So button widgets, whenever you press a button, it's supposed to do some action. That is the purpose of a button. So in this case, we have some basic arithmetic operations, 6 arithmetic operations, and CLS to clear the screen, and close button to close the complete app. Okay, so totally we have 8 buttons, B1 to B8. Okay, so what are the mandatory things in this? B1 is equal to, you are calling the button method, and you need not include the first parameter is not M here. You are just giving the text, what has to be printed inside the button. Text is equal to plus. Okay, for time being, please ignore this command parameter alone. Ignore this command parameter, we will deal with it later. Now the background color is mentioned, foreground color is mentioned. Background color is purple and foreground color is white, and font I have used times 12 and bold, and width similar to the label. Here also you can mention the width so that everything looks equal in size. Okay, and then we can create c.create underscore window. You can mention the x and y coordinates, and window is equal to B1 is placed in the canvas. In this way button widgets are created. That's it. And now if you run this calculator till 8th step, you can have all the, you can enter the values, but once you press plus, nothing will happen because we have not done these 2 steps. You have to define the functions for the calculator. After defining, you have to call the functions from some place. So now let's go to defining the functions. So totally, as I said, you have 8 functions. For close, by default you have a function. We will see the close function later. For other functions we can see now. So addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, mod operator, and exponentiation, and CLS2. Okay, let's start with defining addition function. So it's in Python we have this syntax for defining a function: def keyword and then add is the function name colon. Okay, so this indentation is must, only because only then these 3 content is placed within this function. These 3 lines are placed within this function. Okay, now starting with the first line, we have E3 dot delete of 0 comma end. E3, E1, E2 and E3. E3 is the result. Actually what we are doing is we are deleting all the content present in the entry widget. Before performing any operations, I am just going to delete whatever is present in E3. So this 0 comma n specifies the character position. From the 0th character till the end character, we are deleting everything present in E3. After deleting, now I can perform the operations. What I am going to use is, I am going to make use of this get method. So this get method for this entry widget will retrieve the value which is present in that entry. So for example, if I run this, if I press 5 here, this get method will give the resultant as 5, and E2 if it is 2, so this E2.get will give the result as 2, but that will be in string, so that must be converted to integer. So E1.get will retrieve whatever is present in E1 entry 1 and here E2. Both these things should be converted to integer for integer addition, or you can make it as a float also, integer or float addition, whichever is convenient for you. So int of E1.get plus int of E2.get, and I am storing it in a variable called res. That's it. Now the addition operation is performed and it is stored in the resultant variable res. Now I am supposed to place that res in E3, right? So I am calling that method E3.insert of 0 comma res. So what this insert method will perform? It will insert this second argument res from the position mentioned in the first argument. So 0, from the 0th position res will be placed. The result will be placed from the 0th position. Okay. So this is how we have defined the function for addition operation. So once we are defined for one particular function, arithmetic operations, it's easy for all other operations, right? We are just going to perform, just going to change this second line alone. For defining the subtraction operation, just the second line, instead of plus we are going to change into minus, and for multiplication it is asterisk, and for division slash, and mod operator you are using this mod function. And one more thing to be mentioned is, for all this addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, you can make use of float here, so that it will perform both integer and float operations. Whereas for mod operator, please keep in mind that you have to give only integer, because we are going to give the remainder of the division. 5 mod 2 will give you remainder as 1, so please don't use float here. And power function exponentiation, use double star to perform power function. And what happens in clear screen, CLS, which means that we have to clear all the values present in all the three widgets, E1, E2 and E3. So that can be done easily since we have cleared the value for E3 entry widget. Similarly, we can do the same thing for E1 and E2 using E1.delete 0 command and E2.delete 0 command. That's it. We have defined the functions for the calculator. So this is a simple calculator, so I have just used only these functions. You can make it as a scientific calculator, sin of x, cos of x. You can have any number of functions. Just you are going to write the function here, and you can perform many more operations. Okay. So the last step is we have to call the function. Now we have to apply the logic, like from where we are supposed to call the function. You are entering the number value 1, value 2, and then you need the result 5 and 2, and after pressing the button plus, you need the result to be displayed here. So the calling function must be done from the button widget. So for that purpose I am using this parameter command equal to, and I am calling the function explicitly like this, add is the function which we have defined here already, the first one, define add, and this is the way of calling the function by using command is equal to add. Similarly, you can do it for button B2. You can see command is equal to div mod power CLS. And the last one, that is the close button. So we have not written any explicit function for this. We have this method called destroy method to close the application window. So we are calling m.destroy method which will close the application window. That's it. These are the 10 steps for building a simple basic calculator. When you run this, now you can enter any number. I can enter 7, 3, and I can perform addition, subtraction, the same value, I am not changing anything, multiplication, division, mod operator. Okay, now I can give any operations can be performed, and this is how it works. Thank you for listening. If you have any doubts, you can leave your doubts in the comment box. If you like this video, kindly subscribe for more videos on Python and other programming concepts.